Live from Lamar High School in Arlington, Texas, the Cube is proud to present USA Football Developmental League competition featuring some of the finest young athletes in the nation. This morning, Cowgill Blue meets Blacklock White in our first of 3 games to be played at Cravens Field. Hello, everyone. Along with Scott Garner, I'm Pete Stein. Welcome to the Cube, the place to watch, share, and live stream events. We're thrilled to have you with us for what should be a really entertaining day here in Arlington, Texas, Scott.
Should be. These teams have really been put together nicely. They've got players that have been featured from areas as far as Winter Park, Florida, some from Arizona, Kansas. We've got a lot of locals here too, but this is about development and getting these teams and these players ready to go for the upcoming fall. It's a great camp.
Which brings us to an interesting dynamic that's in place this afternoon.
Yeah.
We've got 6 teams, but it's the individuals who are trying to make an impression here this afternoon.
It is, and when these kids get into the camp, they know that they're going to be coached by some great coaches. If you look at every team in this camp, at least half of the coaching staff has a great pedigree. They're from either the Division II ranks or higher. We've got some former NFL players that have been featured on these coaching staffs. So that's what they come here for. They want to get seen, but they also want to get coached.
So Team Cowgill is coached by Danny Cowgill. He is the defensive coordinator at Barbers Hill High School in Louisiana.
Yeah, and you look at his staff. He's got a former NFL player on his staff, and Abdullah Rahim, who's the defensive line coach. You've got a coach from the University of North Texas, defensive back coach, and Coach Brewmeister, Tim Brewmeister. You've also got a guy that I think is really promising. I think he's got a promising career ahead of him from Locust Grove High School up in Oklahoma, and Dustin Pinero. He's the offensive line coach. If you don't know much about Locust Grove, they like to open it up. They like to run that air raid offense. We're going to see a lot of opening up of the offense. They're going to throw the ball around a little bit. Not much of the running game, and it's a little ironic because I think the offensive lines for these two teams are probably the best aspect of both of them.
Team Blacklock is led by Dallas Blacklock. He is the wide receivers coach at Texas Southern University.
Yeah, and you look at Coach Blacklock and what he's been able to assemble. They've got some good skill guys that they're going to be featuring today. We're going to watch 2 or 3 of their running backs. It's a good complement. They've got a bowling ball type running back, but they've also got a couple of scat backs that they can get to the outside. We'll see how they assimilate their package.
So Team Cowgill wearing the blue uniforms with the white helmets, and Team Blacklock wearing the white uniforms with the blue pants and the white helmets. It's a hazy, warm, humid morning here in Arlington.
Yeah, they're expecting temperatures upwards of 101 degrees today.
It is the middle of July in Texas.
It is. Football is a hot weather sport. So many people think it's a cold weather sport, but it gets going pretty early. And I think as the years pass and the more camps that are devised across the region, we're going to start seeing a lot of these camps starting up in late May, early June. Right now, they get going in July, but there's been talks of trying to start these things a little bit earlier.
Today's game is brought to you in part by ESPN, an official sponsor of USA Football, and an official sponsor of Heads Up Football. Riddell, official protective equipment partner of USA Football. That includes helmets, shoulder pads, and other equipment. And EA Madden NFL 16, the official video game partner of USA Football. Let's talk a little bit about USA Football. This is a developmental competition, and boy, you think the quality of football is great now. As this program continues to grow, the football's only going to get better and better.
Pete, there's a wide spectrum of players on all of these teams. You've got some upper-level players. You've also got some players that didn't get a whole lot of experience on their high school team, so it really runs the gamut.
Blacklock White running the first play from scrimmage at the 25-yard line, and the quarterback will be sacked. Getting to the quarterback for Cowgill Blue is Bryce Robinson. The quarterback is Joshua Munn out of Hobbs, Oklahoma.
Robinson got there. Isaac Barron also got there. Great defensive lineman. They got him, though, at the backer spot. 5'10", 225 pounds. He's out of Spring, Texas. That's a great area just outside of Houston. A lot of talent down there.
It's a loss of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 17 from the 18-yard line.
A lot of these guys are coming out of their 7-on-7. It's going to be interesting to see how this game is managed. They love to throw it, but the strength of both of these two teams may be on the ground initially.
Liam Copabianco is split out wide to the right, but the ball is handed off, and darting to the right side is Jaden Johnson. And Johnson gets back across the original line of scrimmage close to the 27-yard line.
You know, they zoned that, and I thought Cayman Gorduno did a great job, the backside tackle that time. They zoned it to the right, had a cutback lane. Watch number 74. He's 6'5", 285 pounds. He's a Colorado native out of Pueblo. He's really, really strong. Watch number 74 today.
It's a gain of 10 after the 28-yard line, and it brings up 3rd down and 7 for Blacklock White. 13 and a half minutes to play here in the first quarter. This is the opening possession of the game. There are no kickoffs in this game, and punts cannot be returned. White trying to avoid a punt situation here out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The slant is caught, but short of a first down.
Yeah, it wasn't a great toss. I thought that play developed nicely there. I thought it was defensed pretty well. They
ruled it incomplete.
Well, he had his hands on it anyway. It'll bring up a 4th down play, but I thought the defense did a good job of staying where they needed to be. They were in that zone coverage.
So they put it back at the 28-yard line where it's 4th and 7. So the first drive results in our first punt of the game. And again, a reminder that there's no punt returns in this game. So wherever the ball is caught, that will be the line of scrimmage for Cowgill Blue in our opening game of the day here on the Cube.
I love what they do with this USA football. They've got camps all around the country. And if you're interested in sending your kid to a camp, it's very inexpensive, but it's a great value. You'll stay 4 to 5 days. These kids have been here since Monday.
Cameron Taylor has no rush to deal with, and the catch is made at the 49-yard line. Hauling in that punt is Mark Rodriguez, a 5'8", 155-pound defensive back out of Georgetown, Texas. As Scott alluded to, there's players from all over the state of Texas, but also players from all over the country participating in this game. The first possession of the game for Cowgill Blue, and we want to keep our eyes on Bryson Lucero, the 6'2" quarterback out of Bradenton, Florida. Lucero takes a knee-high snap and hands off, and a 9-yard, maybe a 10-yard gain, and a first down for Damian Green on his first carry. The Houston, Texas native is going to be stopped after a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 in White territory at the 42-yard line.
Boy, they are in the hurry-up, too. This is what they want to do. The coaching staff for Cowgill, most of them like to run the system.
Lucero fires over the middle. This time the pass is incomplete, and there was a little heat on that pass that was intended for Nicholas Tapino, the wide receiver out of Los Angeles, Florida.
Pete, you're going to watch Bryson Lucero. He's 6'2", 205, this quarterback. Watch how calm his feet are, even with pressure. He's so quiet with them, and he's always balanced. He knows what to do with the football.
Lucero hands off, and this time it is Jebediah Mallory taking the handoff. He caught the slant pass a moment ago. He's going to be stopped short of a first down here, and it's going to be 4th down and 2 coming up for Cowgill Blue.
I thought Josiah Mercado, the D lineman, 5'9", 194 out of Grand Prairie, right here locally, did a great job of shooting the A-gap to stone him there.
4th and 2. They will go for it. They go with the ground game, and they run a draw play, but it is stuffed. Mallory finds no running room, and the ball is turned over to Blacklock White.
You know what's interesting? I think that Cowgill Blue, from an offensive standpoint, probably has more talent to a man than this Blacklock White team. But in these early morning games, it typically is going to be the team that comes out and punches the other in the mouth first that takes the advantage.
Riddell, the industry leader in football head protection, is proud to support the U.S. national team as USA Football's official helmet and protective equipment partner. Pete Stein along with Scott Garner on the Cube. Still scoreless early in the first quarter. It's Cowgill Blue against Blacklock White in this USA Football Developmental League competition. These young men are trying to impress USA Football and qualify for the national team and play in the International Bowl here in Irving at AT&T Stadium in January.
It's going to be coming up in the wintertime. Really, since Monday, a lot of the strong players, one of the elite players, had their eyes just trying to make their mark, not necessarily getting instruction, but making an impression.
1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. The ball is handed to Jaden Johnson, trying to find a little bit of running room. And just did squeeze through for a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the. Actually, they're going to say he was down at the line of scrimmage, make it 2nd down and 10.
Well, Jaden Johnson's out of Springfield, Missouri. You mentioned it, Pete, 5'8", 175. One of the things he's working on, getting an explosive first step, seeing the read, seeing the hole, and getting out there quickly.
Staying with the ground game, they run a sweep to Johnson, and Johnson is brought down at the 44-yard line, and making the tackle is Jay Garza, who's just 5'6", 143 pounds out of Austin, Texas.
I thought Garza did a great job of sealing the edge, not allowing the running back to turn the corner that time. You can really tell the guys that come out here and are great technicians of the game. Their tactical skills are superior, and that time I thought it was a great play of getting to the point of attack quickly.
Johnson and Copobianco are the two receivers to the right side of the formation, but again, it's the ground game, and Johnson right up the middle carries it to the 48-yard line.
It's a great play. That's called a power run that time. The backside guard was pulling into the A-gap, and that is the bread and butter for Jaden Johnson. That's what he likes to do. He's 5'8", 175. If they can get him going downhill, they've got a chance to get this offense going.
It's a gain of 5, brings up 4th and 5, and Blacklock White has opted once again to punt the football away. Cameron Taylor will handle those duties. Again, no rush on the punt and no return on the punt, but a chance here for Blacklock White to flip the field and put Cowgill Blue deep in their own territory. The ball will bounce at the 26 and come forward, so not a great punt, only to the 37-yard line.
You know what I think is so interesting as a coach, just about trying to get teams assimilated, just getting them into the rhythm. Sometimes it's hard to do that.
You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE. Lucero throws an incomplete pass to the left side on 1st down for Cowgill Blue with just over 8.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 31 for Cowgill Blue. And again, we see the running game on display. The handoff to Mallory, and Mallory is fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Are you surprised that we've seen so much of the ground game here early on?
Well, I am, simply because the coaching staffs for this Cowgill, the coaching staff, particularly for Cowgill Blue, wanted to come out and open it up a little bit. They've got a great quarterback in Lucero. This offensive line is really, they're geared toward the running game, but their pass setting has been above average this week.
Call it a gain of 2, make it 3rd down and 8 from the 33-yard line. Blue in their own territory, out of the shotgun. Back to pass is Lucero. Lucero has a man, but it is incomplete at the 45-yard line. It would have been good for a 1st down, but unable to make the catch is Keenan Stanley.
I'm going to tell you what, I just talked about the pass setting of the offensive line. Zachary Newman made that play happen for Cowgill Blue. They didn't execute on the back end, couldn't finish it and get the pass caught, but Newman gave the quarterback Lucero so much time. Great one-on-one action by the offensive lineman. 6'3", 280 out of Farmington, Arkansas. Zach Newman, he's a good one.
Blue's a little bit late getting a man on the field here. That's Jerry Barrett coming in, and he will replace Samuel McQuaid Ward as Blue gets ready to punt for the first time, facing 4th down and 8 from their own 33-yard line. The snap is at the feet of the punter, who sets himself. Again, no rush, and the punt goes straight up in the air, and this is going to be caught at midfield as the punt is hauled in by Trevor Alley, and once again, it's good field position for White. Siege Sports is proud to be the official uniform partner of the U.S. national team. Follow Siege Sports on Twitter to check out the custom uniforms and apparel they create for both high school and college teams nationwide. To learn more, visit SiegeSports.com. Right from midfield, it's 1st down and 10 for Blacklock White. We're still scoreless with just over 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Leibsch has come into quarterback but drops the snap, and falling on the loose football is Bryson Trigg, the running back from Cumming, Georgia. and it's going to be a loss of 5 on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 15.
They went right back to that power run right to the middle with that backside guard coming around to the left A-gap again. I tell you, it's hard sometimes to get offenses rolling. It's much easier to coach defense in a camp like this than it is to coach offense. It's always easier to play without the ball, and these offenses are showing it this morning.
Jared Shillette is the receiver to the short side, 2 receivers to the right side of the formation with a tight end on the right side. And again, they go with the ground game, running right up the middle, crossing midfield, getting across the original line of scrimmage. It's a pickup of 7 yards on the play.
And I tell you this much, you've got a couple of linemen that are really, really good on the other side of the football. Cayman Guarduno, we mentioned him, 6'5", 285 from Pueblo, Colorado, did a wonderful job on the left side of that line that time. It's still 3rd down, though, and long, and we're going to see them go to the air, you would think, here.
Triggs' run sets up 3rd down and 8. 2 receivers are split out to the right side of the formation, including Tylen Johnson and also Copo Bianco. The snap is over the head of the quarterback, and that's going to be recovered, and this can be returned. It is scooped up by Isaac Barron, and Barron has the first touchdown of the day for Cowgill Blue. They lead 6-0 with 5:32 to play the first quarter.
Isaac Barron on 2 straight plays found himself in the offensive backfield. That time he picks up the football, scoops, and scores. That doesn't happen very often. That may be the first scoop and score of his career. He's out of Spring, Texas. Something tells me, though, as good as he is, probably isn't.
He springs all the way to the end zone here to score the first touchdown of the game with just over 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, and that brings out William Hay for the extra point. Hay from League City, Texas. Understandably, there's a little bit of confusion about the personnel when it comes to the kicking game, and once again we see a late man on.
You know, that's the hardest part about football, just the personnel. There's so many moving parts, and when these coaches only have a week to try to formulate a game plan and to assimilate rosters and depth charts, it can get confusing at times.
Wormer Skirtion and White are the 2 men who came on late for Cowgill Blue. They lead 6-0 after the touchdown, and the extra point off the right foot of Hay is good. It's 7-0. You're watching USA Football live on the Cube.
You could be the best in your house.
And then you're safe.
Then get all the love.
You could be the best in this house.
You could be faster than the fastest.
You can carry on the legacy.
Then add a couple of these.
And then make everyone want to be like you.
And you can stop there, but you won't, because you're not done yet.
For the athletes moving the game forward, Gatorade's creating the fuel to do the same. Fueling today, fueling the future.
We'll never get him to shut up. Pete Stein along with Scott Garner back here at Cravens Field on the campus of Arlington Lamar High School for USA Football Developmental League competition, featuring some of the finest young athletes in the nation. And you're watching Blacklock White with the football, beginning this drive from their own 25 after falling behind 7-0. And again, they go with the ground game, but there is not much running room up the middle.
You know, you look at the skill position players for Blacklock, particularly their quarterback and some of their running backs. They're undersized to a certain extent. They've got to be perfect. They've got to be perfect with their reads. They've got to be perfect with handoffs, just the little parts, the details of the game. They can ill afford to have any mistakes, and that was a huge mistake. And Isaac Barron made him pay just a moment ago with that scoop and score.
Trigg picks up a yard, sets up 2nd down and 9 from the 26 for Blacklock White. Out of the shotgun, handoff once again to Bryson Trigg, and this time Trigg finds a little bit of running room, and he gets to the 33-yard line before he's pushed backwards.
Love the zone read. I think they're doing a good job of managing the game. Bryson Trigg, 5'11 and a half, 172 pounds, out of Cumming, Georgia. Hey, when they put that half in there, you know you're a little bit undersized. Hey, they've got to do things right.
It's a 5-yard gain that sets up 3rd down and 3. And again, they hand it off to Trigg, and Trigg lowers his shoulders and tries to get to the first down marker, but is stopped short at the 34-yard line.
The one thing they like, though, about Trigg is it brings up a 4th and short. The one thing they like is the fact that he's not afraid to take that hit. He invites the contact, and you've got to be that way. If you're going to be undersized and you're going to run between the tackles, you must develop that trait.
And he appears to be a downhill runner.
Yes. D-line, though, I tell you that this Cowgill Blue defensive line is really strong. Jeremiah Stanley, that two technique in the middle, has done a job.
On 4th and 1, Triggs got daylight, breaks into the secondary, crosses midfield, gets to the 40-yard line, inside the 35, dragged down at the 32-yard line of Blue.
Everybody was locked up. They could not keep the linemen off the backers, and Trigg made them pay for it. Biggest play of the game, in my estimation. I think even bigger than the scoop and score.
34-yard gain to the 32-yard line of Cowgill Blue, and it's the most impressive offensive play for Blacklock White here with 3:15 to play in the first quarter. They're trailing 7-0.
And as lackluster as the kicking games have been for both of these two teams, you're not surprised to see them go for it there inside their own midfield 50-yard line.
Jackson Thompson hands off to Trigg, who breaks a tackle in the backfield but then gets pushed backwards after reaching the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 yards that'll set up 2nd down and 6.
Trigg says, give me a breather. That's like 6 plays in a row you've handed me the ball.
Tell you what, on a warm day in Texas, it'll be pretty easy for a guy with that kind of workload, even though he's out of Cumming, Georgia. It's hard to get used to playing football in this heat.
It is, but you know, as you and I had talked about, football is a hot weather sport.
In Texas, in the South.
And listen, you go out to practice. We were out there yesterday. They doubled up on water, on wet towels, things like that. They got to be ready.
They know the importance of hydration. There's a quick slant that is incomplete at the 22-yard line. The intended receiver was Liam Copabianco, a wide receiver who stands 6'2", out of San Antonio.
I like Copabianco. He didn't get a great release that time. He had the inside release on the slant. That is the culmination of a couple of different things, not the least of which is the fact that these players have only played together for 5 days. I mean, that's a tough timing round.
Exactly. And with less than 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, White, with their best drive of the day, is facing 3rd down and 5 at the 28-yard line in Blue territory. Copabianco splits out to the right side. Tylen Johnson is the slot receiver on the right side. Winters is split to the short side of the formation. Thompson, play action. Throws underneath and completes the pass to Henry Teeter, the H-back, who races down the right side and breaks tackles into the end zone for a touchdown.
That is outstanding. Henry Teeter, he caught the ball, 6'4", 205, a guy that size with hands like that. How valuable is he going to be? He's one of the more elite players that you'll see at this camp. He's out of San Angelo, and I guarantee you coaches are watching that going, who is that guy again?
23-yard touchdown toss. A catch and run with 1:19 to play in the first quarter, and a chance for White to tie the game with this extra point off the foot of Cameron Taylor out of Richmond, Texas. No rush. He has time to really set up, and he drives it right between the uprights, and we're not at 7-7 with 1:19 to play in the first quarter. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE.
Protect what matters most. The USA Football Protection Tour is a series of free one-day football camps that educate youth football players, parents, and coaches on the importance of proper equipment fitting, tackling fundamentals, and CDC-approved concussion recognition and response protocols. Watch for this year's Protection Tour schedule and sign up today for an event near you.
Nathan Johnson kicks the extra point but ties the game, and now it's up to Blue to answer that score in a 7-7 tie, but the first pass of this drive is incomplete. Going deep down the left side, maybe the deepest pass of the afternoon there. Incomplete, intended for Wormerskirchen. And there defensively was Cameron Pedesclu, who's a defensive back out of Pearland, Texas.
And I don't believe Lucero's completed but just one pass here in the quarter. But he's a great specimen out there, and scouts have their eyes on him.
Completes this pass. The slant is good for a gain of 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Lucero stayed late after practice, and they worked on that play time and again for about 30 minutes. Love his work ethic. He's going to be special once he gets to about 19, 20 years old.
Lucero wants to pass again. Stands tall in the pocket. Completes the pass over the middle. A juggling catch is made. And it is going to be Aaron Garces deep into White territory. He's not tackled until he gets to the 8-yard line.
It was a great catch. He juggled it at midfield, ran about 40 yards, but Lucero did a great job in the pocket. He did not get antsy. He had plenty of time, and it was just so effortless. You know, you see baseball pitchers that are max effort type pitchers. You see quarterbacks too here in the game of football. Lucero is not that. You could just see the effortlessness with which he plays. He's got a great arm, and he showed it off that time.
It's a 57-yard gain with 25 seconds to play in the first quarter, and Blue threatening to reclaim the lead as they tack on yardage and mark the ball down at the 3-yard line. Jebediah Mallory is the running back behind Lucero. Wormer Skirtion is the receiver to the short side left. 3 receivers to the right. Kean Gatson is the inside slot receiver. Garces is in the slot. And then out wide to the right is Cutter. It's a handoff up the middle. And the tackle is going to be made near the goal line. He is across. Mallory has scored, and it's 13-7 Blue with 11 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, they ran the zone read to the left, and that time it was the running back that out-efforted the linebackers. He just simply put his head down and got to the point of attack faster.
William Hay is on to try the extra point. Out of the hold of Cutter Hudgens. Hay makes it a 7-point lead for Blue. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE. Pete Stein and Scott Garner back with you at Lamar High School in Arlington, Texas. Cravens Field, the site of this USA Football Developmental League competition. We're watching Cowgill Blue and Blacklock White, and it's Blue on top, 14-7. Got just 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter as White takes over at their own 25-yard line to begin this drive. Caleb Harmel, the quarterback, into the game now for White. Got Tommy Schaefer in the backfield with him, and a whistle will stop play. We've not seen a lot of flags in this game.
I believe this is the first one that we've seen.
So a false start will move White back 5 yards. So they'll face 1st and 15 from their own 20.
And you might ask, what benefit is it for a coach to come out here, particularly a college coach, and work with some of these young guys? Coaching is like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And a lot of these college coaches come out here, yeah, they make a little money at it, but it's about learning the kids and getting better at their craft too.
And kudos to the NCAA for allowing them to coach in these games. There's another possible turnover. Already we've seen Blue scoop and score once, but this time White is fortunate to recover the fumble. It's Caleb Harmel, the quarterback, who lands on top of it.
That's the biggest hit we've seen today.
So we have just 1 second remaining in the quarter. 14-7. And now the final second ticks off the clock. So we've come to the end of the first quarter. It is Cowgill Blue 14, Blacklock White 7. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
Welcome back to Cravens Field in Arlington, Texas. We begin the second quarter. Cargill Blue facing Blacklock White in a USA Football Developmental League competition, and White has the football. 2nd and 15 from their own 20, now moving left to right, and they go with the ground game, and it's a big gainer right up the middle all the way to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10 yards. Taking the handoff for White, Spencer Shaver, a 5'10", 190-pound Savage, Minnesota native who's going into his sophomore season.
Love Spencer Shaver. The one thing that they love about him is his low center of gravity. He's real shifty. He probably turned his shoulders 3 times during that run and still maintained that good leverage downhill. He does a nice job.
Capobianco and Johnson are the two receivers lined one behind the other on the near side. And again, daylight right up the middle and a first down across the 40-yard line as Shaver once again takes the handoff, and Shaver gets to full speed pretty quick.
If you're that small in terms of your height at 5'10", and that quick, it makes it so difficult for the Mike linebacker and the strong safety to see it and to read it, and before they even realize what's going on, you've already picked up 4 or 5 yards.
First down and 10 at the 41-yard line. This time they fake the handoff, and the quarterback, Caleb Harmel, keeps it himself and puts his nose down and gets to the 41-yard line, only a gain of a yard, setting up 2nd down and 9 for Blacklock White.
Yeah, I thought Noah Barbosa did a good job there inside at his two-technique position, the 6', 270-pound linebacker from Spring. Actually, a lineman is set to graduate in 2018. He'll be a junior.
Kamen Garduno is over the football, ready to deliver the snap to Harmel on 2nd down and 9. The White at their own 41-yard line. Play action. Harmel rolls out to the right, throws on the run, has a man. It's incomplete. It was in the hands of the intended receiver, Capobianco, who made a nice adjustment, but then wasn't able to make the catch.
Yeah, I thought Capobianco did a good job of being really physical there. You know, they don't list him very big. He's 6'2", he's only 161, but I thought he played more physical than that. Some of these players that come to this camp, that's the thing. They really overachieve to such a great extent, and it's good to see that.
Noah Laird is the receiver out to the left side of the formation. Henry Teeter is the H-back, and the ball is handed off to Williams, who darts his way to the 47-yard line. Picks up 6 yards.
I'm going to tell you what, Tychicus Tibbs, 6'4.5", 297, out of Garland. That's a suburb of Dallas, right here in the Metroplex. He is a really good lineman. Watch 76. He's the left guard on this White team. He's pretty big, and he is pretty fast for a lineman.
Give to Johnson, who gets stuffed, and it's going to be ruled down right at the line of scrimmage on 4th down. The ball is turned over on downs. They needed to pick up 3 to convert, needed to get just across midfield, and they only get to the line of scrimmage. If you want to be the best, you have to wear the best. Cutters football gloves and its grip technology are in a league of their own. Cutters football gloves, the official glove of the U.S. national team. So with just over 12 minutes to play in the second quarter, Cargill Blue leading 14-7. Takes over in White territory at the 47-yard line. High snap, but it's brought down by the quarterback, Budar, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought Dylan Ralbush did a good job out of his linebacker spot, 5'11", 180 out of Alvarado, Texas. Saw the high snap, really shot the gap quickly and made a play.
Preston White is the receiver out wide to the left side. It's a 4-receiver set. Buadar throws it to the near side, and that pass is caught. And the pass is complete to Preston White, the 5'11", 165-pounder from nearby Roanoke.
Yeah, he's from Roanoke, but I thought Kobe Barton did a good job. He comes up from his cornerback spot, makes a nice play one-on-one, 5'8" kid, about 140, a little bit smaller than the wide receiver, that does a good job of getting him low to pull him down to force the 3rd and long.
3rd down and 8 at the White 45. Buadar snares the snap, breaks through a shirt collar tackle, and then fumbled the football. White finally recovers at the blue 45-yard line.
And I'll tell you this, Pete, Broderick Howard came through and he almost collared the quarterback, and then he almost got the fumble.
Robert Alexander ends up recovering the fumble. He's from Richmond, Texas, a 5'10", 240-pounder.
Broderick Howard, though, on that white team, that defensive lineman, 5'10", 235-pounder out of San Angelo. He is really, really good, and he shot in there. I can't believe, number one, that he didn't bring the quarterback down, but then he had a chance to grab that fumble.
The football at the 45-yard line of Blue. White trailing 14-7. Great field position to begin this drive. Johnson lined up behind Copobianco on the right side, one receiver to the left. The H-back is Teeter. And they hand off to Trigg, who runs right, spins through a tackle, breaks another, and gets inside the 35-yard line. Picks up 11 yards and a first down for White.
Great seal block on the right side there by Gunnar Rifle. Offensive lineman, 5'8", 190. He's out of Georgia, Loganville, Georgia. He's going to be a sophomore. 67 does a good job of sealing the edge and allowing that play to happen.
Just over 10 minutes to play in the half. Jared Gillette is split out wide to the left side. Johnson and Copobianco to the right. In at quarterback is Joshua Munn. He started the game, takes a waist-high snap, and then hands the football off to Trigg. And Trigg gets wrapped up by Jeremiah Stanley and thrown to the turf after a short gain.
It's interesting, they zone it left, and Trigg runs right, and that time it really had nowhere to go because the alley was covered up.
9.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Blue up 14-7. White at the 34-yard line. Dallas Blacklock, the head coach of the White team, a wide receiver coach at Texas Southern University. For a wide receiver coach, he's calling a lot of running plays.
You know, the offensive line, though, that's the strength of this team right now, and they're trying to use it.
Munn out of the pistol, fakes the handoff, rolls left, has running room. He'll tuck it away, and he's got a first down, and is tackled hard at the 24-yard line.
Man, he was absolutely blistered, but he wanted that first down. What a big hit there at the 24-yard line. I thought it was a great read, though, by the quarterback. As soon as he saw the space, he took off where there was not much lateral movement. He got vertical in a hurry.
Gain of 10 brings up 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Munn directing this drive. Lined up behind him is Kevin Williams. Gillette split to the wide side, trying to run up the middle, but once again that play gets stuffed, and it's Isaac Barron, the defensive lineman from Spring, Texas, who gets there immediately and makes the stop. It's a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, we're midway through this second quarter, and if you have just tuned in, about every second or third play, you're going to see number 44, Isaac Barron, somewhere around the football. That guy will find it. He's going to be a junior this coming year, and he's out of Spring.
Hit the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. White trying to tie the game. They've flooded the right side of the field with 3 receivers, but they hand the football off to Jaden Johnson, and Johnson gets to the 15-yard line and may be just shy of a first down.
Tychika Tibbs, though, 76. You watch him, 6 feet, 4.5 inches, 300 pounds. He's out of Garland. We talked about the strength of this White team being the offensive line. He is absolutely dominating up front right now.
A lot of good football played in Garland here in the North Texas area. Munn out of the pistol with Williams behind him. And right up the middle, maybe enough for the first down.
I don't think he's got it. And
Johnson has held stop short.
The timing was disrupted on that play. It just wasn't really good. The offensive line didn't fire off very well.
That's Barron again making the stop, and now it'll be 4th down and call it 2 needed with the football at the 16-yard line.
It's a big play here because if they get the first down, they got a chance to tie this game before halftime.
Jaden Johnson is the running back, lined up to the right of the quarterback, Munn. Handoff, Johnson bounces to the right side, has the first down and more to the 10, and gets wrapped up and brought down at the 7-yard line. The tackle is made by Cullen Honahan, the defensive back from Garland, but not until he picked up first down yardage.
Man, love to watch him run the football. They ISO'd him on the right side, and he was able to get to the edge just immediately, which enabled him to pick up that first down. What a big play in this ball game.
First and goal to go from the 7. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Blue leading White 14-7, but it's Blacklock White on the march.
You know, as stagnant as the offenses were to start this game, they've been equally as impressive here in the second quarter.
They've definitely picked it up, haven't they? Henry Teeter is the H-back lined up to the left of Munn. Munn hands off, but the ball is dropped, and the football may have been recovered by Justice Frigia out of Liberty, Texas. And it is another turnover that's going to keep Blacklock White from tying this game. So they've had one fumble that got scooped up and returned for a touchdown. Now as they're going into the end zone, they turn it over again.
Boy, those turnovers are crucial. And it just calls to mind something an old sage football coach said one time about how football is just a game of who can make the fewest mistakes. It's not how many plays you can make, it's how many plays can you keep the other team from making.
USA Football is proud to partner with the nation's leading AED provider, Physio Control. Learn more about how you can get Physio Control AEDs. And they pick up a couple of yards on first down. It'll be second down and 8.
Daniel Villegas did a great job, that linebacker. Great play in space out of Surprise, Arizona just then, holding it to a 2-yard gain. You can always tell how talented a team is by how well they play in space.
Buadar back to pass. And it is batted down, and it's an incomplete pass.
I mean, I don't mind it being an incomplete pass, but why couldn't we get a call right off the bat?
A whistle?
Yeah, we needed a whistle there.
Third down and 8 with 5 minutes to play. Blue on top 14-7.
White could have used that too.
Yeah, they sure could have. Trailing 14-7, they would have loved to got the football back. If they can make a stop on defense here, they'll still have good field position and plenty of time to work with in the first half. Buadar out of the pistol, gets a tie snap, drops back to pass, has time, fires to the left side, completes the pass to the 15-yard line, and the catch is made there by Wormer, and he gets out to the 23-yard line.
Pete, I don't know what the call is going to be, but I can tell you Colton Glover was just a massive hold right in the middle of that line, and that's what they're going to get. It's a holding foul against this Cowgill Blue team. That's going to go against Colton Glover. It was as plain as day, and about 3 flags came out.
That'll wipe out a 10-yard gain to the 21, and now the ball will be marched back just beyond the 5-yard line. It'll still be third down. The line to reach is the 19.
We're bookended by a couple of Chicago natives up here. You know what we say down here? That thing was bigger than Dallas, that hole down there between the tackles.
Clock rolling, less than 4.5 minutes to play. Call it third down and about 15 needed here. Quick swing pass to the right side is caught coming out of the backfield. Green, but he's well short of the first down.
Tell you what, that's a lot of heart right there, and I know that Coach Blacklock's got to be pleased with what his team's done. They fumble the football, then they hold him to a punt deep in Blues territory. Dallas Blacklock, the Texas Southern University coach, told us yesterday that that's the one thing that he was most impressed with about this team, just the heart and the tenacity, and they showed it there.
No thoughts about going for it here on 4th and 5, deep in their own territory. They'll send out William Hay to punt. Again, no return on the punt, so wherever it is caught or lands, that's where White will take over. And the clock is rolling under 3.5 minutes to play. Hay swings his right foot through, gets off a punt that is through the hands of the receiver.
Well, don't drop it.
That'll be picked up at the 49-yard line, and so they end up losing about 6 yards with the inability to make that catch. Trust your teeth and smile to Shock Doctor mouth guards, trusted by athletes all over the world. Shock Doctor, the official mouth guard of the U.S. national team.
Love that name, Shock Doctor.
That's a great name. So 3:20 to play. Second quarter. White begins this drive at the Blue 49, trailing 14-7. Quarterbacking this drive for White, Jackson Thompson. Thompson hands off to Trigg, and Trigg is wrapped up by Jeremiah Stanley in the backfield.
Now that umpire threw the flag that time. That may be tit for tat. We may see a hold against the white team.
So they will march backwards from the 49-yard line. It is a holding call against Blacklock White. So that'll move White back into their own territory. And they'll have it at their own 41-yard line with 3:09 to play.
You know, they go from having the ball on the plus 40. Then the ball goes through the hands of the punt receiver without even a rush on him. And now the holding penalty's got them back up to their own 41-yard line.
3 receivers to the right side. We see Teeter lined up as an inside slot receiver. He's been the H-back primarily. Thompson back to pass, stands tall in the pocket, floats it up the left side. Trigg makes an over-the-shoulder catch, races down the left sideline, and runs away from Mark Rodriguez into the end zone for a touchdown.
How about that? That is unbelievable. Trigg has been the man with the plan for Blacklock White here in this first half. Makes a great catch on what I didn't think was going to be a very good throw. He just lollipopped that thing up the sideline on a go route, and he got behind the defense. An unbelievable play here for White, and I thought they were just better than I don't know what, but they had lost 20 yards there in 2 plays. I didn't think they had a shot to score there.
Trigg makes the catch and then shows the speed down the sideline to get all the way to the end zone. And now Nathan Johnson is on to try the extra point that could tie this game with 2:43 to play in the second quarter. The kick is good. It is White 14, Blue 14. You're watching USA Football live on the Cube. Will Keene comes into quarterback for Blue in a 14-14 tie with 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Keene runs a quarterback draw but has no running room. He gets wrapped up immediately, and Clark Yarborough, the defensive lineman from Rowlett, Texas, makes the tackle.
Yeah, he was in there, and so was Woody. They were both doing a great job right there in the middle. There's nothing that'll fire up a defense than a big play from the offense that time, and this D-line for White, the last probably 8 to 10 minutes, has really found something. They're communicating well, and they're firing off the ball better.
On 2nd and 11, Keene with a 3-step drop, fires to the right side. The pass is complete at the 36-yard line. That'll be good for a first down.
I'll tell you this, that's probably one of the best throws we've seen all day from a quarterback between these two teams. Not an easy pass to make. That had some zip on it. He got it off in time. Great mechanics. I like this quarterback.
Noah Laird, the wide receiver from Shawnee, Kansas, makes the catch for a first down. Blue at their own 37-yard line. Just over a minute and a half remaining here in the first half. 14-14 tie. Keene feels pressure, zigzags out of trouble, tucks it away and runs to the 41-yard line before he's brought down. As he picks up a gain of 4, Blue will use their first timeout.
Bailey Jaron had a hard time. He just got blown up right in the middle. Lineman went right past him. The 5'11", 235-pound center, I believe, out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Couldn't move his feet, could not mirror the defender. Went right past him, and the quarterback was immediately under pressure.
So a timeout on the field with 1:23 to play. This is, first and foremost, Scott, a developmental program. Developmental games were created to provide the athletes with the chance to train with USA Football, as well as have the chance to compete for the chance to represent the United States in an international contest in the International Bowl at AT&T Stadium, really at the conclusion of football season in late January.
Two motives for players that end up in a camp like this. Number one, they want to get seen. Elite players want to, they've got to market themselves. Coaches are always telling young athletes, hey, you have a product to market, and that product is you, and this is one way to do it. They've got great coaches here. At least half of the coaches on every team are college coaches, so that's first and foremost.
Running room, dodges one tackle, is wrapped around the waist and carries a man to the 49-yard line. It's got a first down. It's a gain of 8 yards.
You can see the confidence building between the two teams. I like how Blue has not rolled over here. They can smell a little blood in the water. They've got a chance with the place kicker that they have between the two teams to take the lead before half.
Just over a minute to play as Keene drops back to pass on first down, flushed out of the pocket. He'll run again, and he's into white territory, knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. It did appear to be a legal hit from Cameron Pettisclew.
Well, legal or illegal, it was quite a hit. He took a shot, but this quarterback, 6'1", 180 from Westlake, he can throw, he can run, but the best part of his game, Pete, he's a great decision maker, and that's what they like about him.
That's been on display in this drive, and you can also see Keene's leadership giving directions to Daniel Villegas.
I love it. That's a great word, and when teams come together for only a week and they get a leader like that gives them an advantage.
So a timeout taken by Blue here. We've got less than a minute to go before halftime. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE. First and 10 from the 41. Keene hit from behind. He was looking deep downfield, and then he got plowed by Clark Yarborough from Grand Prairie, Texas, who brings him down at the Blue 49-yard line.
You can't square a guy up any more than he did. That is as hard a hit as you will see. Unbelievable. 5'9", 208. You mentioned he's from Rowlett. What a great job by White to stifle any thoughts of this Blue team taking the lead before halftime, and I can guarantee you that hit will be felt for a few days.
It's a 10-yard loss, second down and 20, but a timeout on the field here. We're at Cravens Field in Arlington. The sun breaking through the haze on a warm Saturday morning here in Arlington. You know, being a great coach, Scott, and you know this, goes beyond the practices and Friday night lights. Coaches across the country are making big impacts in the lives of the players they teach, and USA Football wants to celebrate and honor these special coaches. Nominate your coach today at usafootball.com/thankscoach and join the conversation by using #thankscoach.
Well, they do say that the greatest of all human emotions is gratitude, and I love that program they have recognizing the coaches, paying them tribute. That's great.
I'm grateful to be doing a football game in the middle of July with you, Scott. Back to pass. That ball hangs up, and it is nearly intercepted. The pass was almost picked off by Trevor Ailey. The intended receiver was for Aaron Garces, who's the wide receiver out of Athens, Texas.
It's kind of a strange play because Garces was very aggressive. Then he turned into defender, and then he realized, hey, I got a chance to catch this ball.
Bryson Lucero is back in at quarterback on 3rd down and 20. The Blue at their own 49-yard line, trying to break a 14-14 tie before we hit intermission in 31 seconds. Lucero takes a waist-high snap, drops back to pass, has time, throws over the middle. This pass is picked off. The pass is intercepted by Pedescalu, who gets to the 45-yard line.
You know, Lucero, for all of his attributes, has struggled a little bit with decision-making today. A lot of that, though, is due to timing and not knowing his wide receivers. I know he's probably frustrated with himself, but he's got to have a short memory because he's better than the game that he's played so far.
So if you're White with 18 seconds to go here, do you try to go for a big play, just take a knee here and go to the locker room?
I think without the special teams aspect of it, I think you get a chance to do something. I might try another go route, something like that. I think whatever happens, I think Trigg has to have the football.
It's also a development league. You don't really need to practice taking a knee.
That's true. Let's go. Let's go. They should put some points up.
They may have a chance for 1 or 2 plays here before halftime. The football is at their own 45-yard line. Back to pass, in trouble, throwing it incomplete is Jackson Thompson. Thompson was trying to get it to Nathan Danielson, but he was in a panic. He was under great pressure. Is that Isaac Barron again putting the pressure on?
I think it is. He's been in there a lot today. The linebackers starting to get after it here. They're kind of tired sitting back on their heels. They're taking some chances, and that was a good one to take.
2nd down and 10. Thompson out of the shotgun. 13 seconds to play. Hands off to Trigg. Trigg is wrapped around the waist and brought down at the 45-yard line. Got forward progress out to the 46-yard line. The tackle is made by Jalen Hardy, the linebacker out of Fayetteville, Georgia. And that brings us to intermission. It's a 14-14 tie. It's been an entertaining first half. We've seen some outstanding individual play.
We have, and they really stepped up after about the midway part of that first quarter, and they started to play a little bit more loose. They started to relax a little bit, kind of get into their game. Good to see the offenses get after it.
Yeah, I would have bet against 4 touchdowns after that first 7.5 minutes, but things did heat up. It is a warm day here in Arlington. This is USA Football. It's developmental league competition, and we're glad you're watching USA Football live on theCUBE.
We see the leaves turn and know it's time. A rite of passage with the field as a classroom and hash marks as guidelines. We see teammates becoming friends, friends becoming brothers. We see moms and dads standing taller as their kids dig deeper. We hear laughter and lectures, pads popping, praises sung through a face mask, echoing over proving grounds, where character grows stronger and lessons last a lifetime. But we also feel the power of teamwork and the magic of mutual goals. We feel the emotions of triumph and loss.
Taught a different way to tackle, like this is the right way.
I think that it's starting to really pay off because our numbers, we're up 40 kids.
They're a better tackler. Our generation is getting taught a different way to tackle, like this is the right way.
I think that it's starting to really pay off because our numbers, we're up 40 kids, which is huge.
Wanting safer football is absolutely the right thing for kids.
Do this. Do it yesterday, both from the youth club level and then from the high school levels, because this is only making this a better game, better, safer game.
First and 10 from the 25 as we begin the second half. Blue with the ball in a 14-14 tie. And the quarterback runs to the right side but finds very little running room. And into quarterback here for the Blue to begin the second half is Brandon Thornton.
Yeah, I think Coach Danny Calgo probably happy to have the ball to start this second half simply because of the way the first half ended.
You know Gary Coyle?
Who? For Blue at their own 25-yard line. Three receivers to the left side of the formation. Cutter Hudgens is the receiver to the boundary short side right. Out of the pistol. Running to the left. Looking to throw, but getting dragged down to the turf is the quarterback, Brandon Thornton, as the pressure comes from his blind side, and he is sacked by Josiah Mercado.
Yeah, Josiah Mercado, really good, 5'9", 194-pound linebacker. He's out of Grand Prairie. And this is a precarious position here now for Blue. They wanted the ball, but now they're in a tough spot here because White had momentum going into halftime, and this ball game all of a sudden tied.
Third down and 19. Time in the pocket, stepping up and running. He may have enough room to pick up a first down. This is Thornton on the run, and he gets to the 34-yard line. He's going to be stopped about a yard short of the first down as he scrambles for 18.
And I like this guy, Thornton. I think he's got something here. He's quick. He's not that big. He's got a decent arm. But in positions like this, he can make a play for his team, and he just did. It's a big call here now for Blue in a tie game. It's your own 34, first possession of the half. You're going to go for it here?
Samuel McQuaid Ward ready to deliver the snap on 4th and 1. Out of the pistol. Thornton takes the snap, looking for a quarterback draw, but he gets grabbed and brought down by Luis Gutierrez Jr. in the backfield, takes a loss, and the ball is turned over on down.
How quick is Thornton, and a 195-pound linebacker just absolutely swallowed him. One Texan tackling a really tough quarterback. He's out of McAllen, but Luis Gutierrez Jr., what a great individual play. We talked about the one-on-one plays that have been made so far in this game. That's another one.
First down and 10 with 12:50 to play. White has the football in Blue territory after the ball is turned over on downs at the Blue 32.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised they went for it there.
Brooke Leach in at quarterback, hands off to Trigg, the star of the first half, bounces out to the left side, has running room, has a first down, and does a tight wire act down the left sideline all the way to the 9-yard line.
I thought Jared Gillette, who was blocking out on the edge, I thought he did a great job of not blocking, because had he stayed on that block, it probably would have been called back for a wide receiver hold, but Jared Gillette with just enough of a block to spring Trigg for a big play. This, by far, has been the best player between the two teams. Bryson Trigg.
Gain for Trigg, makes it 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Leach has Trigg to the left. The snap is over the head of the quarterback, and it goes all the way back to the 39-yard line where Trigg falls on top of it.
We've seen shorter punts today. That ball was snapped. That ball was snapped about 30 yards.
Yeah, it sailed over the head of Leach, and that's a huge loss. And remember, it's goal to go now from the 39. Second down for White in a 14-14 tie.
And I got to tell you, Pete, I didn't think it was a bad snap.
Gillette comes out wide to the right side. Johnson and Kobe Bianco are the two receivers to the left side of the formation. Leach calls for the snap on 2nd and goal from the 39. Give to Trigg. Breaks 2 tackles. Runs through another and gets tackled as he reaches the 28-yard line.
Hey, did I mention that Bryson Trigg's a pretty good football player? That guy can play now. Running back, 5'11 and a half, 172 out of Cumming, Georgia. He is sophomore.
And you know what he's in? He's in the SEC territory.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is unbelievable. I like this kid.
He has played really well here in the Arlington Heat this morning. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Good waist-high snap. Trigg takes the handoff, darts up the middle, throws a stiff arm, veers to the right, steps through a tackle, and gets brought down as he reaches the 16-yard line.
when you're playing in essentially an all-star game like this is, and you are dominating like Trigg is as a young sophomore, you are going to open up eyes. This has, hands down, been the most impressive player that we've seen. Now, he hasn't done it all by himself. He's had a great offensive line. There's no doubt about it. We expected them to use the ground game. I didn't expect them to dominate like this, though.
It's an 11-yard gain to the 16-yard line. From there, it's 4th and goal to go, and we'll have a 32-yard field goal attempt for Nathan Johnson.
This field goal, you know what it tells you? It tells you Blue should not have gone for it on 4th down.
The kick, though, is low, and it is wide left, and it's no good with 10:03 to play in the third quarter, and it remains a 14-14 tie.
I hate it when that happens. You're going for a play.
Because you've had that experience from the T-box.
Multiple. Hey, the only time I ever do that is when I play. But when that thing comes off your foot, like it looks like somebody held a balloon up and just let it go.
So the line of scrimmage for Blue will be the 25-yard line. Now they're going to put it at the 20.
And you said you've never seen me play.
I can imagine. I'm really looking in the mirror. Keenan Stanley is the receiver to the right side out wide. And in the backfield immediately to make the tackle right after the handoff. Once again, it's Clark Yarborough from Rowlett, Texas.
I think Yarborough has been to White's defense what Trigg has been to the offense. I mean, he's been that dominating there on the defensive side of the ball the last quarter and a half. What happened to White? They were doing nothing about the first quarter of the ball game, and they have really come alive.
Quarterback is Brandon Thornton. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the short side left, takes the snap, throws, completes the pass on the far side.
Good hit. Trevor Daly. The former Dallas Star? Who? Never mind.
We are first and 10 Blue.
Speaking of
30-yard line.
Dallas Star, yeah. There was the interim coach after Sam Hitchcock. Sam. You know that name. Sam. What's his name? What's his first name? Ken? Ken Hitchcock, yeah.
Number 10, Brett Thornton.
Should know that.
Number 33, Trevor Daly.
Anyway, when I was going to church, the Urban Bible Church, he was going at the same time.
Your same church?
Huh?
Your same church?
Yeah, he was going to the same one.
Where are you going to church? Let's see, unlike you.
Some years ago.
Shotway to go? You still with Dave Shotway or no?
No.
Pass is too tall for Garces. And the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 5 for Cowgill Blue with just over 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter, knotted at 14.
You know, this is a big 3rd down play. I mentioned a second ago that field goal tells you that Blue should have punted on that 4th down play earlier, and it tells you how precious these possessions are. That's why I'm so surprised that they went for it on 4th down a moment ago. We'll see what happens here.
Stanley out wide right, White to the left, and the ball is handed off to Clay, and the ball comes loose at the 35-yard line. White saying they have it. Confirmation that the ball has been turned over.
I don't think we're going to be able to get a replay, but Patrick Godbolt, the defensive lineman, he had him wrapped up, and he just ripped that ball out of his hands. I thought they were going to rule him down, but they didn't.
Just like you're taught, stand him up, strip the ball out.
That's what he did. He stood him up, stripped it out, ball was out.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. 7.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. White on offense at the Blue 36.
I wasn't watching momentum. I was watching the guy stripping, and I did it not seem like the momentum was stopped there? I'm surprised they allowed it to happen.
Noah Laird comes out to the boundary short side right. 2 receivers to the left. Moses Gonzalez is in at quarterback. Takes the snap, pulls it out of the stomach of the running back, and darts into the secondary and gets inside the 25 where he carries a pile down to the 23-yard line.
It doesn't make any difference what quarterback that they roll out there, be it Moses Gonzalez or VA. It doesn't matter who they've got out there. the offensive line is performing to the level to where they're going to dominate. When they're getting that kind of push on these power plays and on these counter plays, they're going to do well. I'm really surprised the game's tied because White's played better.
Gonzalez with a gain of 13. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. White in blue territory. They've been here before and come away empty-handed.
That's true. They squandered some opportunities.
Johnson is the running back to the right of Gonzalez. Johnson, it's a fake handoff, and Gonzalez again on the run, and Gonzalez is going to get to the 17-yard line. I think I saw an official throw a beanbag out indicating that the ball came loose.
Well, the head linesman's pointing to the ground saying, no, we're going to go ahead and rule that down. I'm going to tell you what, Pete. Dallas Blacklock, who's the head coach of this White team, he's out of Texas Southern. He has managed a very good second quarter and the start of this third quarter. He's done a great job of calling plays. This coaching staff's really doing well, and they've got veteran guys on the staff. They've got guys from Texas Southern, Texas Lutheran, Lamar High School. They've got Louisiana Tech coaches out there, and Belhaven University coaches. This is a seasoned coaching staff. They're calling a real good game right now.
Texas Lutheran University in Seguin, Texas.
Yes. Have you been down there to Matador? Have you called a game from? I've called several games from Matador Stadium. I love that stadium, actually.
My sister is an alumnus of Texas Lutheran University.
It's the antithesis of what we have here. Well, you have all the room you need over there at Matador. You may not be as tall as you want to be, but you at least are as wide as you want to
be. So just under 6 minutes to play, a timeout on the field. We're tied at 14. Glad you could be with us for our coverage of USA Football Developmental League competition. We got some of the finest young football players in the nation gathered for this event.
There's a famous sportscaster that came out of Texas Lutheran University.
Of course, that's Vern Lundquist.
All right.
You're going to have to do better than that if you want to stump me.
I wonder if he ever called a game from Matador Stadium.
I'm sure he has, and I'll tell you something else. He works Texas Lutheran into just about every other broadcast on CBS.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good about getting his alma mater worked into those SEC broadcasts. Gonzalez is back to pass on 2nd and 5, throws for the end zone. Good coverage, but going up and nearly making that catch on the left side of the end zone for Blacklock White was DeMondrick Winters, the 5'11 wide receiver out of Brenham, Texas, where they make Bluebell ice cream.
Hey, listen, Jalen Hardy, who's a linebacker out of Fayetteville, Georgia, he had his back as square to the ball as you could possibly be. I'm surprised he didn't get called for pass interference there.
5:20 to play. Just past the midway mark of the third quarter here. We're in a 14-14 tie.
Hey, this is a big play here.
And Gonzalez is going to hand off, but there's not much running room for Williams, who gets dragged down at the 16-yard line.
Well, he got dragged down by Jalen Hardy. We just talked about Jalen. What a great play on third down to force 4th and 3. Hey, they've already let a balloon loose on one place-kicking opportunity. What are they going to do here?
It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here on 4th and 3 at the 16. You got Winters split out to the left side of the formation. Gonzalez is in at quarterback. The running back is Jaden Johnson. Copobianco is one of the receivers out wide to the right. Lined up behind him is Tylen Johnson. The play is to the left. Handed to Johnson, who's got a first down, taken off his feet as he gets to the 11-yard line.
Mitchell Melrose, the tight end. He's 6'4.5". Great block out of White House, Texas. He ends up getting that first down for Blacklock White here with 4:30 to go in this third quarter, or at least it's close to a first down. I don't know where they put the ball down.
It's a gain of 5, but I think there's a penalty mark.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a great block nonetheless.
It's going to be a holding call against White.
Hey, how many negative things have happened in the red zone for White today?
That's at least 3 that I can think of.
That's 3 big ones. I mean, you can't do that in a game like this.
That'll put the football at the 21-yard line in blue territory. They had a turnover, they had a missed field goal, now this holding call.
Not many penalties, though, in this game.
Now, it's been pretty well played in that regard. So here we go on 4th down, needing about 8. Gonzalez lines up in the shotgun. Johnson to his left. Gonzalez throws, running deep down the left sideline. That pass is knocked away. Defending the pass for Cowgill Blue is Mark Rodriguez, a 5'8", 155-pounder out of Georgetown.
DeMondrick Winters, the wide receiver, went out of bounds on that play. The official throws his hat. I thought it was a great job by the cornerback to reroute the wide receiver. The ball was in the air on the reroute. I'm surprised the flag didn't come out before the hat.
So the football at the 21-yard line, Blue in their own territory as they take over possession in this 14-14 tie. It's Cowgill Blue and Blacklock White in this USA Football Developmental League competition from Arlington, Texas, on a sultry afternoon here in Arlington, Texas. 1st and 10 at the 21. Pistol formation. Lucero, hands off, and breaking through traffic and picking up a first down after taking the handoff is Mallory, the 5'8", 190-pounder out of Gresham, Oregon. He's a long way from home.
5'8", 190-pound running back. Again, you mentioned he's out of Oregon. His motor always runs high. That's probably the best run that I've seen out of a Cowgill Blue running back the entire day. That was a very determined run.
And a gain of 14 to the 35-yard line. It's good for a first down. 3 receivers to the left. Carter Hudgens is the receiver to the boundary, short side right, out of the pistol formation. Lucero, hands off, and to the 37-yard line goes Mallory. And so it's a gain of only a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Mallory's had a little bit more success outside the tackles than he's had between the tackles. The power runs have just not been there for Cowgill Blue. Now listen, if you just saw this game and you couldn't see a score, you would think that White was on top by 2 or 3 touchdowns, but that's just not happening. They haven't been able to capitalize today.
Broderick Howard making the tackle after a gain of a little more than a yard. Call it 2nd down and 8. It's a low snap, scooped up by Lucero, who throws and completes the pass. And all the way to midfield, making the catch is Wormerskirchen.
Pretty deep hitch right there by Wormerskirchen, but he's able to make a play. The throw was on time, nothing fancy there. Cowgill, if they are to win this ball game, they've got to become more workmanlike. They've been a little fancy, but these little hitches and slants, this is right up their alley. It's more Lucero's type throw right now.
Lucero hands off and running room right up the middle for Damian Green, and Green picks up 10 yards. He's tackled at the 40-yard line by Pedesclu.
The first 2 steps by Damian Green is what scouts are going to look at, because he picks up so much ground vertically. He's a very valuable running back. I think he's going to have a great year this year. He's 5'10". He's out of Houston. I like this guy.
Short of a first down. Call it 2nd and 1 after a gain of 9. Bryson Lucero out of the pistol formation. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, throws on the run, has a man open but unable to make the connection with Nicholas Tapino.
Lucero's got a great arm. I think he does a good job of rolling outside the pocket, although he's not that fast. But he's not been able to make the deep throws today. They've had more success with the intermediate routes out of Lucero, even though I think later on in his career he's going to be able to develop the propensity for hitting guys deep. We haven't seen it today.
Mallory is the running back behind Lucero. 3rd down, and only about a yard needed here. Let's see if they don't hand it off to Mallory. The give is to Mallory, and he's got the first down inside the 40-yard line.
Not a direct handoff. It was a zone read. The end takes the quarterback. They hand off to the running back. They get the first down, and Cowgill Blue, again, becoming like on some of these critical plays. They move the sticks again. This drive beginning at around their own 25-yard line. It's one of the better developing drives they've had today.
Wormerskirchen is the receiver to the left side. And now shifting to the left side of the formation is Tapino. Also 2 receivers to the right, including Kean Gatson, who's in the slot on the right side. Lucero throws intended for Wormerskirchen, but incomplete, running the slant at the 31-yard line. The pass beyond his reach, and that brings up 2nd down and 10 with the final minute of the 3rd quarter elapsing here in Arlington.
First down plays have not been in Cal.
Dumps it underneath. Gatson not able to make the catch.
Yeah, Gatson didn't have his hands out. Ball was a little bit behind him, too. But I'll tell you this. If you're an offensive lineman on Cowgill Blues team right now, you get a little frustrated because you can't pass protect any better than they just did, and to come up empty when your quarterback has all day on a 5-yard pass, it's disappointing to them. You know it is.
Wormer Skirtion to the left side of the formation. Tapino goes to the right side of the formation. Also out wide to the right is Hudgens. The running back is Jebediah Mallory. Lucero's back to pass. Has a man open down the right side. A diving catch inside the 5-yard line. Did he hold on long enough? He did. It's 1st and goal to go at the 2-yard line.
Of all the problems that Lucero has had throwing the ball deep, that was an absolutely beautiful throw. That was unbelievable.
Cutter Hudgens lays out to make the catch and set up 1st and goal to go for Cowgill Blue. The final 7 seconds ticking off the third quarter clock. It's tied 14-14, and we may conclude this drive on the other end of the stadium as time is run out. We've come to the end of the third quarter. It's Cowgill Blue 14, Blacklock White 14. The fourth quarter is next. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE.
Protect what matters most. The USA Football Protection Tour is a series of free one-day football camps that educate youth football players, parents, and coaches on the importance of proper equipment fitting, tackling fundamentals, and CDC-approved concussion recognition and response protocols. Watch for this year's Protection Tour schedule and sign up today for an event near you.
First and goal to go for Cowgill Blue at the 2-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. Cowgill Blue and Blacklock White tied 14-14 in this USA Football Developmental League competition in Arlington, Texas. Out of the shotgun, Lucero trying to run the quarterback draw, but that's well read by the Blacklock White defense.
Well, I guess so. Deontay Washington, 6'2", 250-pound linebacker out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, saves a touchdown. That's the best play he's made all day. Had a hole, and he really got in there.
So there's a timeout on the field with 14:36 to play. Tied 14-14. You know, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks in this game. Scott, how tough is it at that position specifically to be kind of running in shifts like this? It's tough. It would seem like it would be really tough to get in any kind of rhythm.
You know, a lot of people underestimate how difficult that is. In any sport, because essentially you're coming off the bench, you can't find any rhythm, you're not real sure about the strengths of the team, you've only been with them 4 or 5 days. There are a lot of variables that work against a quarterback.
Gatorade for athletes who move the game. Garner, glad you could be with us for this USA Football Developmental League competition as we watch some of the best players from around the country compete here in the first of 3 games to be played here today at Cravens Field on the campus of Arlington Lamar. And in case you don't know, this is football-crazed country here. We are grateful to have football in the middle of July here in the state of Texas.
We are. A lot of these teams, as you know, the last 15, 20 years, they've been steeped in the 7-on-7 about this time of the year, although you're getting into getting into the two-a-day portion of it here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. But I tell you, Pete, coming out here watching these players, it's good to see them dedicate themselves to getting better. And I'd love to see the coaches come out here, all of these college coaches, all of these upper echelon high school coaches mixed in with some of the former NFL players, getting better at their craft too. This really helps everybody involved.
Danny Cowgill is coaching the blue team from Barbers High School in Louisiana, and Dallas Blacklock from Texas Southern University is coaching the white team. Here's a fade pattern to the corner of the end zone, and it is caught. Wormerskirchen in the corner of the end zone makes the catch that gives Blue a 20-14 lead with just over 14 minutes to play.
What a play. I'm trying to figure out what was better, the throw or the catch. Both were really, really nice. That is a tough play to execute. Wasn't a typical fade. It didn't have a lot of loft on it, but it certainly was on target.
And Wormerskirchen timed his jump beautifully to make the catch. And now, the extra point off the foot of William Hay.
Hey, what a drive for Bryson Lucero, the quarterback. That's the best he's looked all day.
Yeah, we heard a lot about him coming into this game. He gets a chance to show off his skill on this drive that gives the Blue a 21-14 lead after Hay's extra point splits the uprights just 47 seconds into the fourth quarter. That's the first score of the second half. So it is 21-14, Blue on top of white. You're watching USA Football live on the Cube. It's 1st and 10 from the 25 for White. They now trail 21-14. They put it in the hands of Trigg, and he carries it out to the 40-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain for Trigg, who has been one of the more impressive performers in this game.
We were talking about what a great game this has been so far, not only tied to the scoreboard, but it just seems like these two teams are kind of trading punches here. I thought Lucero had a great drive, his best drive of the game, best deep ball he's thrown today. Trigg's been very consistent there out of his running back spot.
Copa-Bianco and Johnson lined up one behind the other on the right side of the formation. One receiver to the left. They keep it on the ground with Trigg, and Trigg carries the pile across the 43, close to the 44-yard line.
Like that play, they had two H-backs there lined up. That right H-back cutting into the backside B-gap, really leading the way, almost like a fullback lead play. They haven't done a lot of power running, but that time they get 4 yards out of it.
Brings up 2nd down and 6 from the 44-yard line. Just over 13 minutes to play. White spreads the field. And the quarterback, Thompson, keeps it himself and only gets to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 1.
Thought Thompson made a good read. He just didn't get out of the gates quick enough. Did a good job of keeping it, but that first step has got to be more explosive. Thought the two technique, though, on his right kind of stifled him somewhat.
Jackson Thompson is a 6'2", 180-pounder from Dallas going into his sophomore season. And it's 3rd down and 5 for Blacklock White in their own territory, trailing 21-14 with 12.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Thompson gets a good snap, hands to Trigg. He's got running room right up the middle. Bounces off a tackle, comes to the left side, puts the ball in his left hand, and then steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Boy, the two guards for Blacklock White have done a great job. Jaden Borges, the 6'3.5", 252-pound offensive guard from Edinburgh, did a great job of just pushing his way forward and getting some room for Trigg, who must have close to 125, 150 yards today.
It's a 23-yard gain to pick up a first down. Just over 12 minutes to play. White on the march. Copa-Bianco is split out wide to the right side. Johnson's the slot receiver on the right side. Jarrett Gillette to the short side left, and they hand off. This time they give it to Jaden Johnson, and Johnson carries the football right up the middle and gets to the 21-yard line. It's another first down. There'll be a timeout on the field here with 11:52 to play. Early in the fourth quarter, Blue, after the game was tied at 14 at the halftime, went on an impressive drive, bridging the third and fourth quarter to take the lead, and White has had a nice response here, Scott.
They have responded well. You'd like to see them score to try to tie this game up. You become concerned, though, with some of these players who may not be in midseason form. It is getting hot out there, and at this point in the ballgame, you're starting to see some of these guys grab their hips, some of the bigger linemen.
As a proud partner of USA So the football is resting at the 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for White when play resumes. Developmental games provide athletes with a chance to train with USA football. They have the chance to compete, and they also have the opportunity to possibly represent their country, which we never really thought about in American football, but it is becoming a little bit more of an international game. And we'll have the International Bowl here in Arlington in January. And some of these players that we see here this afternoon may indeed be part of that game.
It's rare to come into a tournament like this or come into a camp like this and coaches raving about linemen as opposed to skill players. There are plenty of skill players, as we've seen today, but the offensive linemen, I think you've mentioned before, Pete, about how they have an SEC look about them. They really do, and some of the technique that they're using is really more SEC-like.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left, handoff to Johnson, and Johnson finds no running room. The daylight is closed quickly. Jared Esparza in on the tackle.
Getting to the point of the field where White has really had a hard time today. They've really underachieved in the red zone, and it's one of the reasons why they're down by a touchdown. If you just took the proficiency levels from these two teams, you would think that White might be leading it by 2 touchdowns, but it just hasn't materialized today. They've got to start doing something when they get to this point.
Tyler Johnson and Liam Copabianco are the two receivers to the right side of the formation. Jared Shillette is split out to the left. The H-back is Henry Teeter. Johnson is the running back. Thompson fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws underneath. Teeter, the H-back, makes the catch, has running room after the catch, gets pushed out of bounds just beyond the first down marker.
It's the second time today they've run that play. That was not a great throw. It was such a bad throw, it almost cost them a first down right there. But I thought they did a really good job. I really like Henry Teeter, 6'4", 205 out of San Angelo. He's going to help somebody at the next level at that H-back spot.
So it'll be 1st and 10 after a gain of 10. The football just inside, right at the 11-yard line where they spot it. Johnson stays in at running back. Yeah, Teeter kind of has a thankless job in that H-back role, but he gets a chance to pick up a first down on that reception. And now Johnson runs up the middle, and Johnson carries the ball to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
I really like that play. That's a play really that has been missing from White. I thought Bryce Robinson did a good job of saving a touchdown there. 6', 192-pound linebacker who's from Garland, just outside of Dallas. That's a pretty decent play on both ends, but White on the precipice here of tying this ball game. They deserve to tie it here.
Copabianco and Johnson come out to the left side. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
They deserve it. Give it to them.
Trigg takes the handoff, runs up the middle, and powers his way down to the 4-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 2 needed here. They can pick up a first down without scoring as we approach the 9.5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. 21-14, Blue on top of White.
In the red zone today.
Trigg is the running back to the left of the quarterback. Thompson takes the snap, gives to Trigg. Trigg may have enough for a first down here. It's going to be really close as he's down at the 2-yard line.
I don't think he's got it. I do think that White should call a timeout here and talk about it.
Justin Fragia in on that tackle. And they're going to mark it short of a first down. They spread the field here, needing only a yard for a first down and 2 yards for a touchdown.
I'm surprised they didn't talk about it.
This is 4th down, and the give is to Trigg, and Trigg is across for a touchdown.
That is an unbelievable play by the quarterback. That snap rolled back to the quarterback, and he was able to keep his poise and pick the ball up and hand it to the biggest playmaker that White has to potentially tie this ball game.
So Nathan Johnson will try to tie the game at 21 with 8:21 to play here in the fourth quarter. So no rush. Johnson has time to line this up. And the end-over-end kick is right down the middle. We're tied 21-21 with 8:21 to play in the fourth quarter. It's USA Football Developmental League competition. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE. In Arlington, Texas, at Cravens Field, USA Football, fourth quarter action, blue and white, tied at 21. Lucero in at quarterback for blue, running to the left, but he doesn't have a way to get around the corner as he is stopped by Devin Lobato, the defensive back from Colorado Springs, Colorado. In fact, he loses a yard on the play. They call it a 2-yard loss, making it 2nd down and 12 for Cowgill Blue.
Anytime Lucero's got to tuck the football, the play's dead. That's the last thing that this blue team wants. That's not his game.
Aaron Garces is the slot receiver on the right side of the formation. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Out of the pistol, Lucero throws, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Preston White out of Roanoke.
Well, it's not a great pass. It wasn't a great route run. The timing wasn't very good either. Things did not look very good on that play. This is a big 3rd down play. Lucero has looked great at times. He's looked very deficient at times. We'll see what happens here on 3rd down.
Danny Cowgill watching his team as they need to convert 3rd and 12 with just over 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Lucero, chest-high snap, back to pass, stands tall in the pocket, going deep, throws into a crowd. The pass is incomplete off the right hand of Aaron Garces.
Well, that time it was a good throw, but denying that pass was Corbin Harrington, the linebacker who cut in front of the wide receiver, 5'10", 185-pound defender out of Garland. Now it's 4th down and 12. You've got plenty of time here if you wanted to. You could punt this ball away and then try to let your defense make a play. They've already made one play today.
And it looks like Blue will be punting. William Hay will punt it away. And it's going to be up to that Cowgill Blue defense to keep this a 21-21 tie. And this punt straight up in the air, not much of a bounce, and it's going to be the 38-yard line in Blue territory where Blacklock White takes over in an effort to break this 21-21 tie. They've marked it down at the 39-yard line of Blue.
Well, I know that William Hayes pretty upset about it because he came off the field extremely dejected. That looked like he got a bit of the ankle on that punt.
We haven't seen very many punts in this game, but most of the punts have been short. This short punt provides White with great field position as they try to break this tie, and coming into quarterback now for White is Caleb Harmel. Harmel out of Burton, Texas, takes the snap, hands off. Trigg still in the game. This time, Trigg is met by Corbin Harrington, the linebacker out of Garland.
You said Trigg's still in the game. He better be in that ball game. He's the best player they've had.
Well, they've been shifting a lot of personnel in and out, but Trigg, boy, he is holding down that running back position right now.
How many touches do you think he's had today?
It's got to be in the neighborhood of 20, right?
Got to be. I mean, I was thinking 25, maybe 30.
I don't think it's quite that many. You tend to exaggerate. I get it.
Well, it seems like
You're
seems
a
like
hyperbolic personality.
Well, I'll do it at times.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and the handoff is to Trigg, and they continue to mount up those touches for Trigg, and he carries the ball to the 33-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 6 yards for Trigg, and there's plenty of time still. They can use that ground attack and still win this football game. Just under 5.5 minutes to play now. 3rd down and 4 coming up after a 6-yard gain for Trigg. Copabianco is the receiver out wide to the right side. Johnson, the slot receiver on the right. 1 receiver out wide to the left side. That's Noah Laird. Rolling right, the quarterback keeps it himself, breaks a shirt tail tackle, but picks up a first down as he gets to the 26-yard line. Caleb Harmel scrambles for a first down.
Caleb Harmel out of Harmel.
Laird is out wide to the left. Henry Teeter secondary and is brought down as he gets inside the 15-yard line down near the 14.
And I guarantee you after watching that, Dallas Blacklock, the head coach of this white team's going, well, if he's not playing quarterback, we're going to put him at a running back spot. This guy is a determined runner.
Harmel picks up a first down at the 14-yard line.
You know, the way that the game was managed, though, the last series of downs, it almost had a feel of a basketball team trying to take the last shot.
Harmel has Trigg to his left. Laird split to the short side right. 2 receivers to the left. The handoff to Trigg. Trigg breaks tackles all the way to the 7-yard line. A lot of this is an individual effort by Trigg to avoid and dodge tackles.
But he's getting blocks, there's no question. They're doing a great job. That offensive line is an outstanding line. I will say this. I don't know if Trigg intentionally did this, but he stayed in bounds. So many young running backs don't understand the value of that.
Yeah, because they want the clock running. They're in a winning position here with 3.5 minutes to play. The game tied at 21. This is 2nd down and about 3 needed for White. And the quarterback, Harmel, takes it away from Trigg, keeps it himself, and is going to be brought down just short of a first down at around the 6.5-yard line.
Pete, Harmel didn't want it, but he knew he had to take it, and he took a punishing blow subsequently.
Harmel looking toward the sideline. Get the play call.
They've gone for the field goal earlier today, and it blew up in their face. So they know they want to punch this thing in.
This would be about extra point distance, and we haven't had an extra point missed here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Harmel gives to Trigg. Trigg has a nose for the end zone, but he's going to be stopped here at about the 2-yard line. And from there, it'll be 1st and goal to go.
A stop for no gain wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to Blacklock White here, given the time and situation.
See how they manage the clock here with 2.5 minutes to play. We're tied at 21. Harmel takes the snap, but before the snap was delivered, a timeout was taken, and that's going to be taken by Blue. Cowgill Blue taking the timeout, stopping the clock with 2:21 to play, and a 21-21 tie in this USA Developmental League competition. See what? I'm impressed with USA football.
I am too. They do a great job. I think they're getting the players in these camps necessary to turn some heads from a scouting perspective. It helps the overall organization and the entire breathing organism that is USA football. And it's good to see these players coming from all parts of the contiguous 48.
USA football annually awards more than $2 million equipment grants. That helps build fields. They also award AED grants to youth and high school football programs. Is your youth or high school football team in need of new equipment, assistance in building a field, or need access to AEDs? Make sure they apply for a USA football grant by visiting usafootball.com/grants. So we have 2:21 to play. Blacklock White has the football, 1st and goal to go near the 2-yard line.
By the way, I don't like that last timeout. I think it's a wasted timeout for Blue. the odds are first and goal to go from the 1.5-yard line. They're going to give up the touchdown anyway. They need those timeouts on offense.
Well, they've got more ways to stop the clock if they've got the football, though.
Apparently a timeout doesn't.
Trying to save time with their defense here. And running to the right and running into the end zone, Harmel. So White takes the lead with just over 2 minutes to play. That's an impressive drive.
I will say this, though. Cowgill Blue they've got a couple of quarterbacks at their disposal, like Bryson Lucero, where they can strike quickly, so they're not out of it.
Yeah, this game is not over with 2:03 to play, and Nathan Johnson coming out to try the extra point. Johnson looking to give White a 7-point lead, and they're up 28-21. The final 2:03 is coming up. You're watching USA Football live on theCUBE. Welcome back to Arlington with 2:03 to play. Blue now trailing by 7. Back to pass. Looking for running room now is Will Keene. And Keene is brought down at the 36-yard line. Picks up 11 yards and has a first down on a scramble.
Pretty good run right there. Pretty good scramble by Keene, 6'1", 180. He's out of Westlake. I thought he had a good last drive for them.
Hudgens is the receiver out wide to the right. One receiver to the left side. Keene, pressure from the backside, on the run, looking downfield, tucks it away and takes a hit at the 36-yard line, and delivering the blow is Trevor Ailey, the 5'11", 170-pounder out of Cushing, Oklahoma.
They're going to throw a flag for a hold in the backfield there. I thought that was a little bit unwarranted. Number one, I don't think the offensive lineman needed to hold. Quarterback was already gone. Number two, it wasn't that blatant. I'm a little surprised the flag came out.
We haven't seen just an enormous amount of flags in this game. It's been well officiated here. And that's something we really haven't talked about. This is also a great experience for officials to get some extra work in.
And there's 3 games today, and there are 3 different crews scheduled to officiate.
From the 26-yard line on first down, the pass over the middle is broken up, and once again, it's Trevor Ailey who breaks up the pass, intended for Tapino.
Not a great pass over the middle. Tapino running the skinny post. And I got to tell you, Lucero's job is typically to throw it deep in the intermediate routes. Will Keene is more of a scrambling quarterback. It's not his forte. I'm a little surprised Lucero's not in at this point.
Keene out of Westlake, Texas is back to pass. Needs to get it to the 46-yard line for a first down. And it's out of bounds at the 33.
Gatson makes a great catch on a pretty well-thrown ball. That's not an easy pass to make. This brings up a third down and very long here. They've got to have 13 to move the sticks. Don't have to pick it all up right here. They'll probably go for it on fourth.
Gatson out of Alexandria, Louisiana. Louisiana is a hotbed for football talent. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Keene in trouble. Dodges a tackle. Now bounces out to the left side. Still looking downfield. Throws it away. And the pass is incomplete. And that is going to bring up fourth down. It'll be fourth down and almost 13 needed with just over a minute to play. And Blue finds themselves trailing by 7 here in the waning moments of the game.
I had no chance that time. Samuel McQuaid-Ward and Rudy Garcia, those 2 big linemen, they put hands on their hips, the heat taking a toll on those big linemen.
So a timeout is taken here as they try to develop a strategy, needing to get to the 46-yard line. The football is at their own 33.
This is the ball game right here, and I got to tell you, I'm a little bit surprised maybe not quite as surprised, but this is a really good offensive line. But if you are not in midseason form, and it's, mid-July here, and the temperature's hovering around the upper 90s, yeah, you get late in the ball game, conditioning is going to be an issue.
4th and 13 coming up for Blue with only 1:06 remaining. They trail by 7. They have to convert.
All three linemen almost got to the quarterback untouched. That tells you the kind of toll this heat's taking on this offensive line.
Keene getting some last-minute instructions before returning to the field. The running back behind him is Jobadiah Mallory. He's got 3 receivers left and 1 to the right. Low snap. Keene has it. Keene in trouble. Rolls out to the left. The right-handed quarterback throws, and it is caught for a first down. Gadsden juggled it and was not able to maintain possession across the boundary. And there's a flag for holding at the 26-yard line. The holding call will be declined. The incomplete pass brings up a turnover on downs.
And I got to tell you, there were 2 holding penalties on that possession for Blue, and it's an indication of how exhausted those offensive linemen are.
So the final 55 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock here at Cravens Field on a warm day in Arlington for this USA Football Developmental League competition, and it's been a really entertaining midsummer football game.
Great football game. A lot of talent on display, both sides of the ball for both teams. They build this thing as being a game that will feature offensive linemen and defensive linemen. But I got to tell you, I've been impressed with Lucero at quarterback. I've been impressed. You got to give credit to this White team. Blacklock White and Bryson Trigg, the 5'11.5", 172-pound running back from Cumming, Georgia. You think he's an SEC player? He could play there. He's going to get better and better. Just a sophomore, Pete.
Just running down the clock now. White will hand the football off to Devin Lobato. Or, pardon me, it's 28 taking the handoff here. And he's tackled at the 34-yard line. It's loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11. As the clock is running, we're down to the final 30 seconds.
With just 30 seconds left in the game, it's 2nd.
Carter Morgan enters the game as a running back. Mitchell Melrose is also into the game as a receiver. They will run a play here on 2nd down and 11. They hand it off to Morgan, and Morgan is tackled as the clock continues to run. The final 5 seconds winding off the clock, and it's going to be Blacklock White coming away with a 28-21 victory over Cowgill Blue. We hope you enjoyed today's live event. Share your favorite highlight clips out on social and send a link to the game to all your friends who couldn't join us today. This event was made possible by all of our friends at USA Football and all the terrific sponsors who make this showcase of sportsmanship and spirited football competition a reality for all of these fine young players. As we say goodbye for the moment, we'd like to thank all of our friends at USA Football, our many sponsors, and today's quality assurance team monitoring the game from our Cube offices in downtown Chicago and San Francisco. That'll do it from Arlington for White over Blue, 28-21. Don't forget, this game is immediately available in its entirety on thecube.com. For Scott Garner and the entire Cube family, I'm Pete Stein. Thank you for watching USA Football. We'll see you next time on the place to live stream and share events, theCUBE.